Dude, what is going on with the Trump lawsuit? This is insane. Donald Trump has apparently filed a lawsuit against CBS, against 60 Minutes, for like billions of dollars. He's trying to get their broadcast license revoked. And apparently some of this to do with Kamala Harris interview or whatever, which is bullshit. Like, a network can edit things however they want. I don't recall any editing laws, but this is one of the most insane fascist things I've ever seen, man. I mean, dude, a sitting president suing a fucking broadcast network, trying to silence them, trying to revoke their broadcast license. This is crazy. Look at this tweet, dude. Like, first off, look at this shit. This is not healthy. I mean, look at this. Look at this screed this idiot motherfucker puts out, dude. Like, this guy is not healthy. It's just a screed. That's the thing, right? The question of how much time does this fucking guy have? That is a fair question. This guy's almost 80 years old. He's supposedly the president. Like, yo, fuck nuts. Do you have a job to do? You know, there's work that a president can be doing, man. And it's not spending 4 hours composing a fucking Unabomber manifesto on Truth Social, your failing media company. All he does is golf and vent, rant and golf. That's it. That's his entire existence. And apparently, though, I think he watched 60 Minutes tonight. Almost every week, 60 Minutes, which is being sued for billions of dollars for the fraud they committed in 2024 presidential election with their interview of failed presidential candidate Kamala Harris, mentions the name Trump in a derogatory and defamatory way, but this weekend's broadcast tops them all. So yes, he watched it this weekend and he had a meltdown. Dude, he is so funny, bro. You're right. Stream of dementia is a great way of putting it. This guy, his skin is so thin. Anyone who calls this guy a tough guy is a cuck. Any man on earth that thinks Donald Trump is a tough guy is a weak individual. They're like half a man. Because this guy can't even watch an episode of 60 Minutes without having a crybaby hissy fit meltdown. They did not one but two major stories on Trump, referring to himself in the third person. One having to do with Ukraine, which I say is a war that would have never happened if the 2020 election had not been rigged. In other words, if I were president, blah, 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 the war that Trump said he was going to end in 24 hours, that is getting worse, by the way. And the other story was having to do with Greenland. And there we go. I think that's probably the trigger. The Greenland one, casting our country as led by me falsely, inaccurately, and fraudulently. I am so honored to be suing 60 Minutes, CBS Fake News, and Paramount over their fraudulent beyond recognition reporting. They did everything possible to illegally elect Kamala, including completely and corruptly changing major answers to interview questions. They did not. You can look at the side by side. They like took some shit out, but everybody does that in interviews. But they did not materially change the answer at all. But it just didn't work for them. They are not a news show, but a dishonest political operative simply disguised as news and must be responsible for what they have done and are doing. They should lose their license. Hopefully the FCC is headed by its highly respected chairman, Brendan Carr, will impose the maximum fines and punishment, which is substantial for their unlawful and illegal behavior. CBS is out of control at levels never seen before, and they should pay a big price for this. Make America great again. Yeah, this post definitely qualifies as a fail on the cognitive exam. Oh, Lord. Dude, he spent more time composing that shit. You know, now, here's what's interesting about this. You ready for this? Think about this. Think about the setup here, because I believe this is a setup. I mean, think about it. If he actually has control over Paramount Skydance merger, right? Skydance wants to buy Paramount. So Donald Trump has a meltdown and files a crazy frivolous lawsuit against CBS and Paramount. And then Paramount's like, you know what? We really want to be acquired. We want to get bought by Skydance. So guess what? We're going to settle. We're going to give you some millions of dollars that will be a penny and a tax write-off to us, because you're going to cut our corporate taxes anyway and deregulate the shit out of everything. So guess what? Trump has a meltdown. He files a frivolous lawsuit. They settle. And then boom, Trump gets money. They get purchased by Skydance, and everybody goes on to business as usual. But like, dude, this is up. The fact that our country is just one nonstop ball of corruption. But look at this. Benny Johnson saying Trump announces he is suing CBS 60 Minute and Paramount for billions. That's Benny Johnson, for billions. Christian Benny loves it when the racists file frivolous lawsuits. There's nothing that Christian Benny, family man Benny, cashing those big, fat, like million ruble checks from that Russian propaganda money. He loves to just promote the racists and the criminals and the frauds and try to make it seem like they are the good guys. I don't understand it, but he's good at the grift. He is grifting it out. So everybody here is talking about the billions. All the right-wingers are making a big deal about the billions because, again, even if this suit goes nowhere and Trump gets $0, this is what they do it for. Oh, we're suing them for billions. It's like in their realm, filing a lawsuit is almost as good as winning a judgment because they don't need to win a judgment. Once they file a lawsuit, his rube, intellectually challenged followers just sort of act as though the judgment has already happened. They are all in lockstep. Every one of the MAGA voices are out there and they're just attacking the shit. But yeah, dude, this is crazy. And then Lindsey Graham chimes in. New ownership of CBS cannot happen fast enough for conservatives. 2 hit pieces tonight, back to back on 60 Minutes against President Trump. And people wonder why Republicans are so turned off to the mainstream media. To our allies, don't let the liberal media play you. I would have hoped you would have learned that by now. To Lindsey Graham, all we really got to say is, bro, get out of the closet, boss. Your life will be so much better when you just come out of the closet, my man, and quit this nonsense. Dude, you guys don't like the mainstream media because they fact check. And you guys cannot survive a fact check. Just like you cannot survive an investigation in the House Judiciary Committee. You cannot find a whistleblower who's not lying, who doesn't fucking perjure himself. Bobulinski. Oh, perjury is my favorite thing. Oh, come on, Lindsay. Come rub my prostate. Dude. Oh, my God, bro. They're just so inept. But this will be interesting with him saying they should lose their license because there's been a lot of conjecture. Okay, there's been a lot of conjecture about what Trump and Brendan Carr are going to try to do because Trump has been threatening, the loss of a broadcast license with networks for a long fucking time. Okay, he has. That's been a key. One of his go-tos is about wanting they should get their license pulled. Now, I mean, if anybody was to get their license pulled, it would seem that the Fox News with the $780 million defamation loss, the lawsuit with Dominion Voting, I think Fox should be first in line. Nobody has had a settlement like that for defamation. Nobody. So CBS agreed to mediate with Trump over a totally frivolous lawsuit he brought related to the 60 Minute coverage. Well, guess what? The glorified bribe didn't buy them peace because he just suggested the FCC revoke the CBS broadcast license. Weakness always backfires. All he belongs in a straitjacket is accurate. That is accurate. Dude, he is just crazy. Trump doesn't like the coverage he gets, so he instructs his FCC head, the guy who wears a Trump pin instead of a pin like an American flag, to go after CBS and announces he is suing the network. Besides labor camps and crashing the economy, We also have a free speech emergency, but let's look at that guy. Shall we look at Brendan Carr? Because this is batshit. All these guys used to wear American flags, okay? That's been standard for guys in the government officials, for these guys to wear American flag pins. Like, here's a sample. You see him with the American flag pin? This is pretty standard. You have these guys that are working in the government. They're all wearing American flag pins. They're civil servants, you know, pro-USA. I love that. But this motherfucking guy is wearing a Trump pin. Look at him, bro. Look at this guy. I know it is ugly, dude. It looks like a fucking golden turd, bro. Dude, that's what he's doing, though. He is now walking around wearing the Trump pin. That's his new deal. He's having a little meeting here, and he's wearing this big-ass fucking Trump pin. Think about that, guys. We have civil servants in the U.S. government that are no longer wearing pins that are the flag of our nation. They are wearing pins that are the nasty, bronzered, sweaty head of the wannabe despot that, you know, performed an insurrection, a rape, among other things, Epstein, and, you know, who knows what else he's done, 34 criminal charges. Dude, this guy, bro, Cranus the Menace. So, yeah, that is going to be problematic. This was the original lawsuit he filed way back when, which is frivolous. There's no merit to this thing, but you got to understand that even with the no merit, there's like big financial costs, because what does Trump do? Trump has lawyers on retainer, and they specialize in just grinding people in the legal system. This is what Trump does. And this is what Trump has done for a long, long period of time, is he will get involved. He will file some kind of frivolous lawsuit, and then he tries to get you paying for lawyers. He just wants to harm you and make you spend $400 an hour on your lawyers for like 5 years. And he doesn't care. He will sit in court for 5 years, and he's always doing some kind of shuck and jive thing with, you know, filing useless motions and all this crazy shit, trying to get venues changed, any type of sabotage. And he will just tie you up and eat away your fees. Now, what happens is any place that has like a lot of money flowing through it, they know that it's easier to just settle. It's easier to just make a deal, pay some money, and then make it go away, because it will end up costing like the same as the legal fees, but they'd much rather have their lawyers working on real shit. But dude, he's kind of like a mob boss. I don't know how he always has lawyers. I mean, you know, he has people like 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗪. He has people that aren't fucking good lawyers, but they will just sit there forever and just chew up as many law fees as possible. Even if he's going to lose, he doesn't care. He's not trying to win. He's just trying to hurt you and to make your life inconvenient and miserable. That's what he lives to do. He lives to be a dick, to be a complete fucking piece of shit, and to use his status and his power and his connections to wealth in order to inflict as much harm as possible. And yes, he has certainly stiffed people as well. But that's just the truth of Trump. He is a dirty, degenerate con man in every facet, which is why if you voted for him, you don't deserve to have any friends. I think all your friends, except the other fucking twisted that voted for this guy, all your friends should disown you if you voted for this guy. This guy's just, he's toxic. He's not a good human being, despite what Bill Maher says. He may have been nice to Bill Maher while they were jerking it in whatever, the BJ room, but he's not a good human. He's not a good person. He is a sociopathic, narcissistic, degenerate, scummy, like no bottom human being. There is no bottom with this guy. See, this right here, I feel like this is telling. If CBS submits to Trump, there is a significant loss of credibility. I felt like ABC a little bit too, man. There with the 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗪, that settling of the $15 million for the presidential library. Dude, they're losing credibility fast, man. Because the problem is these organizations can actually take the fight. There's so many people in America right now that cannot fight Donald Trump. There are trans people, there are immigrants, there are so many people on the lower end of the socioeconomic scale that cannot take on Donald Trump. They do not have the wherewithal to go up against his fascism, but CBS does, man. ABC does. CNN does. Paul Weiss, the law firm, does. These big law firms, these big white shoe law firms that are all caving in, they do have the power, and they're not using it. They are not using it. They are all like bending and paying out money in exchange for whatever favors, whatever Trump game. I'll sue you. You give me money. I let you have benefits. Some kind of quid pro quo that they're doing. But I have a real fucking problem with this, man. I do. I have a real problem with this because I've grown up always being a fighter. But when you see people that have the capacity to take the fight and they don't, they use their sort of material stature and the fact that they're immune to whatever happens as a means to like not take a fight that they could take. And then they let the little guys just get ground up. And then if they do it, he's going to do somebody else. Next up will be MSNBC. Next up will be whatever. It's like you capitulate and then it just gives him carte blanche to go around suing whomever he wants, slapping the big billion-dollar suits. And it's like, man, you guys gotta man up, dude. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.